For the staff of the River Falls Public Works Department, every day is a little different. Sometimes they're out late clearing the streets during a snowstorm. In the summer, they might be mowing the parks one day and putting up new street signs the next day. And, as was the case just last week, they might even have to pick up a giant dead trout that somehow appeared on a sidewalk outside of City Hall. As we celebrate Public Works Week, we're joined on this episode of the Kinni Cast by Charles Larson and Nate Herum, two of our Public Works employees who share more about the work that goes on behind the scenes to help keep River Falls clean and beautiful each and every day. Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of the Kinni Cast. My name is Tyler Mason. I'm the communications coordinator, and it is Public Works Week. So we are actually at the Public Works building with two of the guys from the Public Works Department, Charles Larson and Nate Herum. Guys, how you doing?
Real good. I'm Charles Larson. I'm the Public Works Supervisor. Worked here 10 years.
I'm Nate Herum. I've been here 5 years, but I have worked at other municipalities before here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys both for doing this. We're in the sign shop today, which is one of my favorite spots in the Public Works building. Pretty cool, all the different street signs and all that good stuff. So we'll get into all sorts of different Public Works related things. But I guess let's start with the two of you. Charles, you got the microphone first, so we'll start with you. What initially drew you to a career in Public Works?
Well, in the past, I always did excavating work, and I always kind of wanted to be part of the community and make our town better and be part of making it better. And this job came up, and I thought, hey, there's no way to fulfill your fantasy without trying to do the job.
And then Nate, how about you?
I also came from an excavating background, and back in 2008 when I lost my job because of the recession,
Sure.
then kind of wanted something real more stable, so I felt like going to Public Works, or I actually had ended up going to a garbage incinerator for the city of Red Wing first, but
Okay.
then just kind of stayed in it because it was a stable job.
Sure.
Because losing your job wasn't fun.
I've been there before. It is not. Yeah. So the garbage incinerator sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe another podcast we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So I guess for the two of you and Nate, if you want to start, or whichever of the two of you wants to start, for those listening who may not know, what all falls under the Public Works Department's duties? Because there's a lot that you guys do. So how would you kind of categorize just what Public Works is?
Well, I always kind of say it's like factory work, but you're doing different things for each season. So obviously in winter, we're doing a lot of snow plowing and maintaining the city's boulevard trees. That's a big thing in the winter. We have a lot of trees to trim. And then in the spring, we're doing cleanups for snowplow damage and pothole repair. And then we kind of slide into our spring/summer work, which we like to start out as with line painting, paint all the crosswalks and parking spots in town. And going more into the summer, we do a lot of catch basin repairs for the storm sewer system in town, maintenance in the parks, mowing, taking care of the bathrooms and all the playground equipment and the trails. And all through the spring and summer, we do street sweeping, try to keep our streets nice and clean, leaves out of the streets. Then in the fall time, we street sweep every day, trying to keep up on the leaf fall and start getting ready for winter. We do a lot of staking of the trails so they're inevitable for the snow plows. And yeah, everything in between. I mean, we have a lot of festivals like River Falls Days and Bacon Bash. We have to set up and tear down those.
Coordinate traffic and stuff for all those events that go on, and just be there, make sure everything goes good, and so we clean up garbage and stuff for that. And the parade, and I guess it's our year in the parade this year, so that'll be interesting. We'll see.
That's right.
Should be a good time.
Yeah. Well, you kind of, there's a lot of different things, and it's very,
a lot of hats.
Yes, a lot.
And it's very seasonal too. So, obviously there's not like a typical day, or every day is a little bit different. But what is a typical day like when you guys come in? Do you kind of know what you're doing, or does it depend on, whether there was a storm or that kind of thing? Or how do you kind of know what the day ahead looks like?
Well, a typical morning starts out, we start work at 7 o'clock, and I usually give the guys the orders. For instance, this week we're doing stump grinding.
That's right.
So we've had 5 guys going out, and we got a guy in the stump grinder and then 4 guys behind him cleaning everything up and restoring the lawns. But about 90% of the time, we usually get pulled away to go fix a sign or clean up glass on the road from an accident. So we have to be real flexible in our job.
Yeah, you mentioned the stump grinding. You guys got a nice shout out today. A resident posted that her daughter was watching you guys grinding the stumps this morning as they were waiting for school. So
that's awesome. We love to hear that positive feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have roughly 864 stumps to do this summer, so it's going to be a big job.
Yeah.
That keeps going up, actually, because they're still taking down ash trees.
Right.
So we're trying to stay ahead of it.
Yeah. What is that whole process like from removal to grinding and all that? I mean, I know it's been quite an undertaking for you guys.
For us as Public Works, the removal part isn't, we do some of it our own, but like our contractor does the majority of them.
Sure.
Because they're very big trees.
Right.
So they handle that. And then we usually the stumps will be there. We're not right behind them doing the stumps. It might be a couple weeks, but obviously with 800 and some stumps, we're not right behind them. We're doing the best we can with what we got. Cause like he says, we got so much other stuff that we got to do.
Right.
And,
busy.
Maintain the town.
Yeah. What's maybe something about the work that you guys do and the team does that maybe most residents don't know about or don't think about or maybe don't realize that is, something that is part of the Public Works Department?
Tyler, I'm going to use my grandma as a reference.
Sure.
Because when I started here, I was talking about street sweeping. And every Monday and Friday, we start sweeping at 5 o'clock in the morning so we can get our downtown swept when there's not very much traffic on there. And when I told her that, she said she never really even gave that any thought.
Huh.
Most people just assume it just gets done,
Right.
But we're out there early mornings to get the streets swept.
Yeah.
I've had people say that, I guess I didn't think that's when you guys do it. Or like snow removal, it happens overnight downtown. So that's, people don't realize that sometimes. It's just, they come in the morning and it's gone. And they're like, cool.
Magic.
To add on to that too, also we do, and Nate is one of our main line painters. We do a lot of our line painting in the downtown area in the early mornings just to beat traffic.
Yeah.
And actually, that's like one of my favorite times to be out. Nice, warm summer morning, not much traffic around. You're kind of by yourself, just listen to the hum of the paint striper machine.
Well, and Nate, you mentioned the snow removal, and I think both of you talked a little bit about that. Take me through what it's like when there is a snowstorm or even just a normal snowfall, for the crew here. I know it's kind of all hands on deck, but what's that process like for the snow removal in the wintertime?
Boy, that'd be a better one for you to start out with, because you're the guy in charge of telling us what we got to do.
Guy? Yeah.
Well, a couple days prior to the storm, I am constantly looking at my weather apps, worrying about when it's going to actually happen, because that's out of the storm, that's about the worst part of it, is anticipating when it's going to happen. So usually the day before the storm, if the weather conditions are perfect, like there's no rain coming in or wet snow, we'll pre-treat the roads with a salt brine. Mm-hmm. And the day the storm does start, while it's snowing, we call it maintaining. So I'll send, 4 to 5 trucks out, and they'll just run our main roads just to keep them open, let traffic flow. And I usually run those guys, roughly until about 6 o'clock at night. And then our great utility staff, they usually supply us with 2 or 3 guys to cover us from 6 at night until about midnight. And then we'll come in and do a full plow at midnight. It doesn't matter if it's still snowing or not. We have to get all the roads opened up. And on a typical snowstorm, it takes us about 8 hours to get everything cleaned up. And then the next day, we'll come in, usually about 4 in the morning, and do our alternate parking, the odd-even parking, people call it. And day 3 is usually taking care of sidewalks and hauling cul-de-sacs out.
Yeah. So people don't think of it's a multi-day thing just for one storm.
It's usually probably 3 to 4 days every snowstorm.
Yeah. And then Nate, I know you're in one of the trucks too. What's your experience or take on just the snow removal part of it?
Like I do the downtown, so I want that to look really nice down there. So I take pride in that, and like all our guys do take pride in their route and everything. So I like to make sure that looks really good down there and clean it up. So.
Well, kind of an interesting question that was ahead for the two of you. If the Public Works team stopped doing what you do for a week, what do you think would be the first thing that residents would notice that they say, hey, this isn't getting done, or this, what happened here? Nate, what would you think?
Well,
might be the
I
first
would say it would depend on the season.
True,
Obviously, like if it was wintertime,
Right.
we know what the first thing would be. How come the streets aren't plowed? And I would say, well, I was thinking about this one earlier. I would say if it was like this time of year, like if we weren't mowing parks or maintaining the parks or stuff like that, they would notice that right away too, I would say.
Sure. Charles, did you have something different you would answer?
Yeah, actually, I know our town's real passionate about our yard waste site.
Yeah.
And I know people would notice that those gates weren't open. 'Cause sometimes we mess up and don't get them open right away at 8 o'clock, and we get phone calls.
Really?
So it's a very crucial and great part of our town to have that.
Yeah. People would probably notice that they couldn't get in there and drop their stuff off. I guess for both of you, and Charles, we can start with you. What's maybe the craziest or most unexpected thing you've encountered on the job? Because I'm sure, like you said, you've been here 10 years. You've probably seen things over the years. Anything jump out to you?
Well, the craziest thing I can think of right now is when COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew what was going on and all the uncertainties. And I remember having a meeting with our public works director at the time, and we had to all go out and put caution tape around all the playground equipment and picnic tables in the parks. And I mean, it was just wild to think, because nobody knew what was happening.
Right.
The unknown, it was just crazy.
Yeah. Nate, how about you?
I would say one of the craziest things I've seen, I mean, I've seen a lot, but one of the craziest was we had to rescue a snapping turtle from it was stuck in it was hard to explain, but it's like a cast iron elbow in this storm sewer grate that we had to get it out of. And we found out about it it was probably in there for a couple days.
Oh, really?
He was still alive and survived, as far as I know.
That
was an interesting project that we got to do. It was down by the high school in that pond that's kind of, would it be on the east or the west side of the school? There's a big storm inlet right there, and it was stuck in there.
What did you guys have to do to get it out?
We had to take the pipe apart and
okay.
pull it out and then get him out of there.
Yeah.
The people that would walk by, they had a name for him, and I believe it was Thor. They called the snapping turtle, and I'm glad it survived.
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
good size one or no?
Oh yeah, it was very good size. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to bite me on the hand or nothing. So.
I guess I didn't even know we had snapping turtles in town here. But,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Well, for both of you, what's the favorite part of the job? Because you talked about, someone mentioned the pride that you guys have in just the community and the work that you do. But I guess, Nate, we'll start with you. What's your favorite part of the job here with Public Works?
biggest thing I enjoy most is the variety. We always get to do something different, and it's not, we do have our, when we're line painting, I'll do that for weeks. So it's like you're doing that nonstop for weeks. And it gets old sometimes, but it's always something different. And that's what I really enjoy about the job the most is the variety and everything we get to do.
Sure.
Like I say, it's always something different. Something always comes up during the day that you have to go do or something. So that's what I enjoy most.
Sure. Charles, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with Nate. The variety in the work and the people here, building the relationship with everybody in the organization. The one thing that I love the most, and it's actually when I'm leaving work, but after we're done plowing snow and driving down Main Street and seeing those roads just perfectly cleaned, I just love it. I mean, I know our team did a great job, and everybody in the community can see that.
Yeah.
That's just one thing that I really enjoy, and it never gets old.
Yeah. And you both kind of talked about that community part of it too. I mean, is that a big piece of just the pride in helping your community where you live and everything? And
Yep. I take things personally, and I want it to look perfect. I treat this town like it's my own property.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, last question, and this is the one that everyone on the podcast gets asked, is what impact do you hope your work will have on the people of River Falls? And Charles, we'll start with you, and then Nate, you can close it out.
Well, I want the parks and the streets to be safe places and enjoyable places, and I take pride in the clean community we have, and I know that I'm part of it and make it happen.
Yeah. Nate, how about you?
I would say that just making the community safe, like he said, and keeping it clean. So then somebody that comes here, maybe that doesn't even live here, comes and says, boy, this is a nice town. I really enjoyed it here on vacation or something, or like the campground. I mean, those people, a lot of them are from out of town. And
right.
if we can make this town look nice, I think it's great. That's what I like to do, and I take pride in it too, and making somebody's day better, I guess, if they enjoy what I did and they don't have to come out to garbage blowing around town. I mean, that does happen, but you know, we do the best we can to keep this town nice and operating good.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people in town appreciate the work that you guys do, because it's some hard work, and you guys are out there, like you said, late hours and all hours of the day. So appreciate all that you guys do, and thanks for coming on the podcast today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That was Charles and Nate from the Public Works Department as part of Public Works Week. Thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of the Kinni Cast. If you don't subscribe already, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or at rfcity.org. Until next time, have a great day, River Falls.